What's up, everybody? What is up, Core ePay 29? What is up? Welcome in, welcome in. I am doing a live um, topic here, rules and regulations, and I like to touch base with people. Different countries have different laws. Different countries have different laws, regulations, uh, policies. All the countries are different. Um, I'm from Canada, right? So it's different with other people in different countries. So basically, I want to touch up with some laws, regulations, and a lot to do with preventing stuff when you are a drone pilot. And for myself, being in the business for a while, I always like to touch base with people about everything, right? So I basically like to explain my situation and way I learned over the years with everything um, with the law, with the regulations, and just basic stuff, right? And I want to touch with a few here. So I want to touch with one. So one I want to talk about is height. Okay, height has a lot of. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say preventing stuff, right? So I'm gonna just say my rules of thumb when you're into flying and getting into this kind of stuff, right? I always like to say 200 feet. It's okay, but it draws attention. I'd say 250 and up, you're good. And I notice bigger drones that you fly, bigger stuff that you do. When I first started into flying bigger drones, that you get a lot of attention when you're 200 feet. Okay, so you're gonna see the body of the drone, right? You're gonna see everything, and you draw attention. So you want to prevent stuff like that. You want to prevent not having somebody to complain, right? When you're into new into the hobby, the industry, or business, whatever you're doing. Um, Good thing with these drones, they all have flight logs. They all have flight plans. They have reference going back to looking at drones, right? So basically, in my rule of thumb, I always like to be 250 and to 400 feet. Now in Canada, it's 120 meters, it's 400 feet. That's it. Unless you were in Toronto, there's a lot of restrictions. But if you were in Toronto and you were flying, you want to be basically higher than that, especially when you're around the CN Tower, places like that. You got to be higher. Um, what's up, everybody? In the chat, before I start rambling more, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you very much. Uh, Thank you. Um, and like I was saying, Core PA 29, Dylan, and Vapor Entertainment. Welcome in. Welcome in, all the new people that came in. Welcome to the channel. And the regular, thank you for joining us here Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time here. So, so okay, I talk about the height. I also want to talk about, it's a basic sensitive subject. With photographs, taking photos, filming stuff like this. Um, you can't have the people's face in it and without their consent, right? You can have different things like license plate, faces, people's yards. It's just common sense stuff, right? The situation also too. You're always, when you're flying bigger drones and you're flying good big equipment like myself, um, my Mavic 3, my Mavic 4, they're big drones. You can see them in the sky, really good. Um, you always have police for draw attention. Their attention for police to really be curious and ask them what you're doing. Okay. Um, Public places, public time, public parking, you're fine. You know, you're not fine when you're flying at beaches in summertime. It's just common sense. A lot of common sense gets you out of trouble, right? With drones. D Boy, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you very much for the like and the share. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And so, rambling on with it, to get back to what I was saying, is prevent things that happen. Always thinking up in your head up here when you're on your flight and you're doing your flight. Always think ahead of time what you're doing, what situation you're doing to prevent these situations, right? Um, so the height, especially bystander people. So in the drone community and people that are into new in the hobby, as we call it, in the drone community, or people getting into flying. Another huge big thing is bystanders. People don't know what I'm talking about. Bystanders, that means people you don't know, people that are not in the operation, just random people walking down the street, random people walking over the bridge, random people going what they're doing, right? Just going on what they're doing with their daily life. But you're up there, you're flying your drone, you're nearby. You know, in Canada, the rules and regulations: 100 feet bystander, 100 feet horizontally, 100 feet horizontally away from people. Okay? That which Transport Canada recommends in Canada is the big time. Um, so, um, I always like to try to answer these questions too as I'm going with my subjects. As Dylan would say, is there a maximum height of you're allowed to travel? So 120 meters is 400 feet. That's your height max or above structure, right? So you're in BC, mountains are not going to be 400 feet. Are you allowed to fly downtown areas? Absolutely you can. There's no there's no really, as I would say to people, you know. So let's get back to with by standards, as I would say, you're flying downtown. There's people walking, right? Um, you're not going to fly over their heads, even if you're 400 feet. You're not going to be doing that. You're going to be just going whatever you can to bypass and go across from them, but away from them. But the thing is, when you're flying in these downtown areas you're going by, you're fine. It's when you're low, okay, and you are actually going away from them. So I would say, and as Transport Canada in Canada, right? Because everybody has in their different countries have different rules and regulations with drones, right? Did you know when you're crossing the road with your drone, even if you're 300 or 400 feet, just cross, okay? And make sure there's no cars at the time as you're crossing because something malfunction and falls down, lands on the car. Now, other people would say also too, if there's a lot of traffic, right, and you're flying over there, that's a different situation. Okay, so I had people ask me that question, and I answer that question: is for busy highways, you're not doing it. You just don't do it. That's why they always say when you're flying your drones over the 417 or the 401, they don't want you doing that because A, something happens, lands on the car, right? B, something malfunction with your drone, same kind of thing, right? Um, so when I met up with the Kingston Police, I was at the Kingston Police and went to their meet up with Kingston Community um, with their association, and the police came there, and the police are not even hovering over the 401, right? People would think that they're on the outside skirts of the 401, so they're on the side of the highway. They're not over hovering it and watching. There's a lot of common sense goes into flying. If you have common sense and it's pretty logic, it's pretty straightforward, right? So it's not really complicated as you would think it would be, right? So when you have these the Matrice 3K, 3K, the M300, they're not even over the highway. They're scanning the subject for these vehicles, and they can tell exactly how fast you are going and speeding, and all it is a drone in the air scanning your vehicle, seeing how fast you're going, but it's scanning multiple vehicles, and if the one is going fast, then they're gonna track on that one, know how fast it's going, and all it is just the CB, right? Communicating with the other officers, right? Um, it was cool too because in the news, changing subject here, not too much, is you know living in the Prior here, we're in small towns where I live, Renfrew, all these other small towns, they're not really doing it. But in the big cities here, Toronto, Kingston, Ottawa, a little, but well, Kingston's big time because Toronto area and Kingston all close towards each other. Um, and they're getting people that are distracted driving, right? So they're texting, they're driving, and the police are fining these people. They're giving the fines to them. They have your license plate. They have your photo that you are texting, and you're busted. You're done. Like, you cannot run from air. And being a drone pilot for myself and seeing what you can see at 100 feet from miles away, you see a lot, I'll tell you that. And you're not going to run away from a drone. Like the drones they're so high tech, they're so advanced. What I can do with my drone compared to what the bigger drones have that are $30,000 to $50,000, I feel with my drone is like a Walmart toy. It's not like these bigger drones, and these bigger drones, they're big time money, right? You know, they're they're you know it makes me feel like I have a Walmart toy. Even my drone's 3 to 6 grand. These drones are 30 to 40 grand. What they can do compared to what mine can do, it's unbelievable. It's crazy. Uh, welcome in, Zol. Thank you very much in the chat too, and D Boy, like I say, and Dylan that I shout out earlier, and everybody else that was in the chat. Thank you very much. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, everybody, and much appreciated to the channel. I appreciate you all. Thank you. And we got 5 live in the house here, droning with Jamie. 5 likes, so thank you very much. Great turnout. It's always a great turnout every time I do live. Always have good audience. I'm telling you. Okay. So talk about the bystanders. Talk about the distance. Talk about it horizontally. Talk about the height. Okay. So I'm going to talk about, I would say, visible fence, right? Geofencing, airspace. Okay? Rules with that. You got a basic license, you can fly in Class G. Class G is on control, right? Then you got another airspace which is called CERT. Okay? CERT is certify. Certify means heliport. Heliport is with helipad, helicopters. Helicopters, hospitals. Helipads at hospitals, right? These areas are control zones. These areas are not for basic pilots. These areas are for advanced RPAS pilots in Canada. It's two different types of license. When you have your license in Canada, you have your G1, where you can basically drive, but you have to have somebody with you, right? G2, you can drive on your own. You're good. You don't need somebody else to babysit you or sit beside you in the vehicle. Advanced license for drones. It's the same kind of thing, but you do a written test, right? Written test. Then, after your written test, you got to do a flight review. Okay? So, it's sort of like G1 where you write license, then you have a driver instructor for your G2, right? And you have instructor to see how you're doing in your license, right? Same thing here in Canada, Ontario. Same thing with your drones. Your advanced license, you go to a flight review, you have to do a flight plan, you have to do a simple flight removal, controlling, going backwards, controlling your drone, and also emergencies, all this stuff. So the steps of it and everything, how it is with drones, this is what it's like. Okay? So with your advanced license, to your subject talking about this, so your advanced license, you can fly into these certified areas, but your basic, like somebody would think, okay, well, whatever, big deal, I got my basic license, so I can fly in these control zones, right? I can go fly in this cert, I have my basic, I'm going to unlock my license, whoopee-doo, I'm going to go fly, okay, so I'm just going to go fly there, okay, but what's happening, I get review, and it rejects me because Transport Canada looks into that stuff and they see, okay, you unlock, you have a basic license, but you don't have your advanced license, so we're not going to make you and let you be approved for that. Same thing if you're in the city of Ottawa, doing real estate, stuff like that. You're not going to do it when you have a basic. It's just, you're not. This is why you have to get your advanced license for different zones like this. So, going to my subject with this is when I got pulled over. I didn't get pulled over, but I had a police pull behind me as I was flying my drone, and he said I cannot fly here. But him being not educated and thinking, first thing thinks in his mind, there's an airport. So an airport in this small town, so automatically, that's it. You can't fly here. This drone pilot's not flying here. We can't let him. But meanwhile, he doesn't understand that it's a Class G on control, which that space is for any pilot to fly there. But strongly recommends in Transport Canada, in the big huge yellow, strongly discourage pilots to fly because you're more high risk, right? And people not thinking, with these drones and the DJI drones, there's authorization zones. When you unlock these zones, it tells you that you're in the high risk. You're going to enter flying at these areas. Your butt is on the line. If anything happens, you're going to be fully responsible of anything stupid that you do. Okay? They have these for a reason. And people would think with planes, oh yeah, they're 400 feet, they're high enough, they're not going to go near me or I'm not going to crash into them. I've seen so many times, it's like you're driving your car, speed limit says 100 on the 401. Everybody's doing 120, 130. Nobody listens to the speed and or the rules with that. Same thing with planes, right? You think they're going to be 400 feet? Oh no, maybe they want to be a little bit lower, taking a picture, or they just want to be low and have low altitude and fly downtown. And meanwhile, you're the dumbass. You're up 400 feet, and what happens? You hit an airplane. It's just very, very common sense a little bit, but not only that is you are the reliable one being a pilot. If you're going to think about flying into authorization zones, which they are in Class G uncontrolled G space, right? You're still taking that chance that you better know what you're doing. That's it. Um, I've been flying almost 6 years, and I've seen planes very low. Um, and you wouldn't think they would be, but they can be. And that's the thing, how I'm trying to set, for example, that not everybody listens to the speed limit or obeys the speed limit, right? And just set an example for that is set an example what I would say with airplanes too, right? They're not always going to be 400 feet or be high all the time. You don't know, right? Zoe, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you, thank you. And good morning to you, but it is the even time here in Canada, okay? It is after 6, going near 6:30. So it's the even time here in Canada, okay? Pretty much. But good morning to you, and I hope you're having a swell day. Very good day. Thank you for coming to our random live. So, a lot of people are saying to me, am I going to make some live shows over the Christmas break? Okay. Am I going to go back to droning with Jamie from 6 a.m. till 7 a.m.? Am I going to do my 2 week of that because I'll be away from work? I might. Okay. See you on the Christmas break, but I might. Okay. Fingers crossed. Maybe. Hello, Jerry Brower. Welcome in, bro. And another great Canadian here in the house, Jerry Brower. And he's a drone pilot too, and he likes to fly. And he had a cool one in Blakeney. I hope you seen my Blakeney that I did afterwards. After you did yours, I was flying with the Avata too, same as your drone. And I was doing a lot of low flying there. So thank you, Jerry, for the thumbs up and liking my live there, Jerry. Much appreciate it. And thank you for seeing it. So, yeah. So I can say that, okay? And also, to the rules, too, a lot of people flying the mini drones, too, always think that they don't have to follow the rules, but they have to follow the rules just as well as myself being fully licensed RPAS drone pilot, that they got to listen and do the same thing what we do being licensed pilots, right? So Talked about I talked about the airspace. Talked about bystander. I talked about the height. Okay, and explaining Class G, Class C. You know, right, for certify areas, and everybody knows. I mean, it's just common sense. Everybody knows with military, that's a heck no be flying around there, right? Um, Also, a lot to even back to my rules of talking about is I remember it was last summer or the other year. Yeah, I think it was last year. A few times that I heard that police were always so strongly telling people quit taking pictures of people in accidents. Okay? Quit taking your drone up and taking photos of a fire, right? A lot of things like that. And then huge news of last summer with the guy with the mini drone that struck the Quebec Air pilot, water bomber. He had emergency land. Same thing. Wildfire, summertime. The people just don't listen. But they strongly always try to educate new pilots, new people of the do's and don'ts, right? Um, and the thing is, like, you want to just mind your business, basically. And, can I say it? There's times like there's times that like I remember being in up flight and going stuff, and I would see the paramedics from a mile away. But did I fly over there and go see what's going on? No, I didn't. Right? And Jerry says most people have no idea where they can fly and fly many areas. I can't fly my Air 3, but I have an app that lets me know and where I can and not. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just exactly what Jerry. Well, exactly what Jerry says. And that's the thing. Sometimes it's a hard way being a new pilot and learning with a lot of things, right? And um welcome in, Lincoln. Thank you very much. Nice dreams. Thank you very much for checking out my station. And if you're new here, like and subscribe, bro. Be a new member and hit the all notification. Much appreciated. Um, so yeah, people don't know when they get into it, and sometimes they learn the hard way. Hope they don't, but the thing is accidents happen very quickly that you cannot cover up as quick. You know, um, big thing with it, right? And I think for me, just sharing my experience, what I had, and this is why I'm doing a live, what I have and what I experience over the time flying. You know, like I learn a lot of from mistakes, okay, and my mistake, and I always have it. I always have it in my head, and I never forget. And it was 2 years ago, and my drone fell on a lady's car, and we had to put it in with the insurance, and of course the police were involved, and I had the police knocking on my door, looking for me and looking for my drone and what was going on, and long story short, once they found out I had my license, that's all his concern was. Things were done. They were they were dropped. I was handling it in my own way, professionally, right? And when the accident happened, I confronted the person and I told him, "Look, this is what's going on. Let's put it in insurance, or I can come up with the money or whatever." But long story short, I had to pay near 2 grand out of my own pocket, but I learn from a pilot error. Nobody's perfect flying. People crash, people do mistakes, people do stuff. You know, um, these things happen. Um, but I learn, and you learn from your mistakes. That's the sad part of it. You learn from your mistakes, and you take it all up here, right? So, um, same as airplanes and helicopters. I never had no close calls, but I've always had a good judgment when I knew where helicopters were coming up. I had a good judgment when I knew airplanes were coming too. All this stuff. I was always very cautious, very observant pilot myself, right? And you know, just flying over at a spot out in Calabogie, Limestone Lake, where I was, and I was just making a video for my YouTube channel, and with the new events with the drones, and when you start spending, a couple grand for a Mavic 3, Mavic 4, the technology in these drones, what they can pick up and find, like I noticed that helicopter was coming towards me, and exactly immediately I thought right away is get really more low down, because I was only like 40, 50, 65 feet. I can't remember. It wasn't really that high. But I immediately ascended down, right? I immediately ascended down, hovered my drone underneath the tree, where I know where a helicopter's not going to be going into tree, obviously, and hovered around the corner, and not in a matter of seconds after I did that, that helicopter went over very low. Um, but the drone and the air sense detect that helicopter from kilometer 3, 4 kilometers away. So the thing is, what I'm getting at is, for people being careless and people getting into new pilots, 100% you would hit the helicopter automatically, big time. And that's the thing that scares me with new pilots getting into it. I've been flying almost 3.5 years when this happened, but still, the experience kicked in, and I think a lot with it. My general thumb is it's the distance and it's the height. I always strongly always say with my own kind of rule, thumb is everything. It's all about the damn height. It's the height of that drone, big time. When I'm flying FPV and I'm never up high. I'm low flying. I'm over the water. I ain't even near. Like, I'm not even near 20 feet. Luckily, if I ever even was, I am low flying. But when you got the bigger drone, the Mavic 3, the Mavic 4 Pro, you're up high, right? You're over the trees, or if you're not over the trees, you're 300, 400 feet, right? Jerry Brower has a comment here. When I flew in Florida, lots of helicopters flying low, and often couldn't hear them coming, so I had to be very aware of everything around. I very rarely get up over 200 feet. Yeah, and that is a good, and that's a good example, exactly what um Jerry said, big time. Um, just like that, right? Just like that, as Jerry would say, that I pinned. It can happen so fast. What's up, Albie Jerome? What's up, bro? What's up? Welcome to my live. Thank you for always stopping by, always giving love and support. And same to you, Jerry Brower. Thank you very much for coming on too. It's always nice to see you guys. Regular guy, regular all you guys come down. Oh, my bear's falling down. Get my bear back up here, my Christmas bear. There we go. Come on. All right. Bear's not staying up. Put bear down. Okay. So, yeah. That's the thing. Helicopters, they creep up on you. Big time. I really agree with that commentary. So, and my Air 3S has an ADBS, but helicopters usually don't have it activated. Military planes don't have it active either. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, I strongly agree with that, big time. Um, and that's the thing. People don't like these drones. Even the Mavic 4 Pro, like all these advanced drones, they will not pick up all with airplanes or helicopters. Exactly what Jerry said. Totally agree with him 100%. And that's the thing. You can't really rely on it 100%. Yeah, and same as like Albie drone too. He rarely doesn't even fly over 50 feet, right? FPV, right? FPV, same as me. I'm lucky to even see 20 feet. Okay. And the thing is, now we got a lot of snow now. I need to get some snow epic video for you guys. Um, so before I end my live here soon, because I've been on for over almost 40 minutes now, is I have a new video coming out this Friday. Okay. Friday at 9 a.m. And then I have another one Monday. Okay. Following next week, Monday. So my one that's coming out on Friday, 2 days. Okay. This one here is cool. FPV video. Um, I was flying over the ice. Okay. And a damn beaver came right out of the ice at the same time as I was going by. And I tell you, I was really close. I'm not hitting him, but getting pretty close in comfort that I was worried about losing my drone. I got it all on video, okay? I got it all on video. I slow motion it down. I even put the title beaver with the arrow pointed up towards him, and you'll see it, okay? In this video. Crazy. And I have it all on video. So that'll be my new video coming out Friday at 9 a.m., okay? So check it out. See what you think about it, okay? I was very happy with it. And then another one coming out Monday at 9 a.m. And like I say, when I'm on my Christmas break for 2 weeks, I will probably come on live 6 a.m. and have my morning chats, okay? So you guys know, okay? Big time. So, but no, I just I just wanted to share. I wanted to talk about some rules, regulations, and basic main topic ones, okay? Bystander one, the height, the airspace, right? Public places, all this stuff, right? Photos, videos, everything. My Avata 2 and my Neos are hardly ever above. excuse me, 25 feet. There you go. Same here too. Both my drones exactly the same. Yeah, I'm not even 25 feet either. 25 feet and under. Big time. And I love the Avata too, right? I love that drone. I bought it in July 12th. Still remember when I bought it, right? July 12th, I bought that drone, and I love it to death. Great drone, great flying, and you can get a lot of the close up and encountering small gaps. That's what I like about the Avata too. And you feel more confident too, right? But someday I'll be drone. Flying just manually right away, flipping and all this crap. I'm just like him one day. One day. One day I'll be drone. Telling you. I like to rip right over the grass, trimming it. That's some skills, man. Who needs a lawnmower when you got all be drone? He'll just get his drone out and just rip the grass, bud. Just rip it all up. Cut it up. Free lawnmower. All be drone right there. And I'm not already there, man. I'm not already there. I'm not doing the flips like you. But I'm getting, I'm good with the low flying and getting in the gaps. Look at my picnic table that I did. Okay? I'm getting there. I'm too old and shaky to fly manually. I have done it, but my MC made for fun. Won't be long now, Jamie. I know. Won't be long. Won't be long. Maybe, right? We'll see. We'll see. Won't be long. So, but I'm telling you, I know you like, you're down in the States, I'll be drone, I know that. But like, ripping over FPV, I'm telling you, right over the ice, bro. Love it. And when I did this video, okay, the video that's getting released this Friday, that was my first time flying over the ice since I bought the Avata 2, the FPV. Okay? First time. Because like I said, I bought it in July 12th. We're almost at December 12th. So I'll be August, September, October, November, December. 5 months. Almost 6 months. Almost 6 months I've had that drone. Crazy. And look at the crap I'm already doing. And Jerry Brower says, when I flew RC planes, I ducked a fan 3-inch at the deck and over 100 miles an hour, and it was fun. Nice. I bet you it was fun. I bet you it was a lot of fun. Okay? I can see that. 64 years old with tremors. Here, you can do it. Look at that. How about 78? Well, you're both young at heart, okay? You're both young at heart, both of you. So, yeah. So check out Jerry Brower's channel, everybody. And everybody that replays his live video and checks it out, check out I'll Be Drone and check out Jerry Brower, both their channel, and check it out. Good channels, both of them. And if you're motion sickness watching I'll Be Drone, you might get sick, okay? Because he does a lot of flipping. I'm telling you. And if you want your grass cut, just call I'll Be Drone, and he'll cut your grass for free with his 5-inch quad. Okay, telling you. So, anyways, thank you for everybody that joined my live and people that came into my live halfway or near the end. Doesn't matter. You guys showed up. Every one of you. I appreciate everybody. Okay. Appreciate everybody that joined and had a great even talking with me, right? On this Wednesday even. And I've always enjoy my my chat with everybody. Just subbed you, Jerry. Thought I already was. Look at that. Look at that. Big connections. Jerry Brower and I'll be drone are subscribers now. Look at that. And they thought they were and they weren't, and now they are, right? Telling you. Props up. Props. Okay? And I hope you guys liked the video for Friday. Okay? Because it's pretty cool. And pretty cool to see the beaver. Okay? I'm telling you. I almost crapped my pants because we had a good close encounter, but it was pretty cool that it was all on tape. Telling you. So, anyways, thank you everybody. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe if you want. Check it out first, then make your decision, okay? And thank you everybody for joining me on this Wednesday even. And peace, everybody. Peace. Be drone, Jerry Brower, everybody else that went on, okay? And yeah, I've got to get out and get some Christmas lights and also get some flying with my Vada too. With some snow. That's right. And I'm going to get some snow too. I'll race you, Jerry. I'll race you. Okay? I'll race you, buddy. Let's get the snow together. Anyways, thank you guys. And I always enjoy it. And maybe on the Christmas break, okay, on the Christmas break, which I start on December 24th to December 5th, maybe I'll get some lives going again. Okay? I'll get some lives going again like I used to do. Okay? So we'll see what happens. So, anyways, love you guys. Thank you very much. And thank you for being loyal fans. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.